Hello, welcome, beautiful people. Thanks for having us here. Thank you, Royal Daily team, for joining our channel. Thank you very much. How are you doing? I haven't seen you for a while. I haven't talked to you for a while.
I know. I'm doing really good. I'm happy to be here. Hi, everybody. It's crazy. So much stuff going on. Just it's hard to keep track of everything that's happening in the royal world.
It's insane, isn't it? It's insane. I had a comment. I want to start by addressing a comment I got from one of the subscribers, and she said that if the royal family is fine with what's going on, what Harry and Meghan are doing, then you should just shut it because clearly, if they're okay with it, then it should be okay for everybody. And I replied to this person and I said, well, just because of current royal family is morally bankrupt, it doesn't mean and they're willing to cover up for Harry and Meghan's actions or crimes or whatever. It doesn't mean that it's acceptable. We should not normalize criminal or illicit or abusive behavior.
Right.
Just because it's okay with this family. And I find that that's a lot of normalization that is going on of certain behaviors have become the norm. And God forbid you call it out, no matter who it is. But what do you think about that?
Well, I don't think it's okay with the royal family, but centers, and so they do have a different set of rules. If me and you did half of what Harry and Meghan did, we would be in jail, right? We'd be in major trouble. But because he's Harry, his darling son, he's a royal. I don't believe Charles will ever remove his titles. I really don't. Royals have a different set of rules. As long as they stay over in California, they're going to do the never complain, never explain. But again, by them being complicit and silent, it doesn't mean that they're agreeing with it, but I think they don't know how to handle it because they don't fight their battles publicly, right? But again, it does make them look weak. It does make it look like, okay, are you accepting this behavior? But in another side of that, I also feel it's helping the royal family by not getting down to their level, by ignoring it and by keeping on with the royal duties. It actually has helped their popularity because if they were to do tit for tat and fight it out in the tabloids, you're never going to win that situation, right? So the only thing they can do is to ignore it and just focus on their charity work. But I think if Harry and Meghan keep poking the bear, Parliament's going to step in and say, okay, Daddy Charles, you're not taking action. We're going to step in. And I kind of think that's what Charles wants to happen because I think you and I both know he's not going to do it. But Parliament might enter the game and say, we're done with this. We're changing the rules here, right? That could happen. I don't know.
Well, I find that Parliament is kind of weak, to tell you the truth, because they should have stepped in a long time ago. I mean, the fact that Harry and Meghan are still on the monarchy's website as though they're working royals, it's incredible. Thank you very much, all of you, for joining us. Thank you, Elke. All of the guys that are moderators. I'm on my phone because I still haven't gotten my laptop back, so I can't read your comments because they're very minute on the phone. So Royal Daily Tea, that'll be up to you and the moderators to post them down because I'm dyslexic. I can barely read it. So apologies for that. As soon as I get my laptop, things will be back to normal. But I mean, what are you thinking of the French thing that showed up?
The French thing about
the French reporter, the documentary by the French reporter. You haven't heard about it?
Which one? About the Windsors, the War of the Windsors? That
one?
No,
this French reporter did a documentary right now. It's all over the news. He managed to go undercover and film Harry and Archewell, and he discovered that the address for Archewell is actually non-existent. You know how they say Archewell in the office? You haven't seen that? Oh my goodness!
I have not heard of that.
But it's been all over the news. Yes, this French reporter, okay, he did an undercover thing, so he wanted to go to the Archewell offices, where the Archewell offices are listed to be. Mm-hmm. And sorry, let me just sit here more comfortably. And then when he got there to the building, the Archewell is not there. It's just shell office.
Yeah,
it's just a shell office basically. So
companies usually don't have addresses. They have websites, and then they have
but Archewell lists an office address. So he went to the office address, and some people, you see the footage is everywhere. And then he managed to go to this event where Harry was going to be speaking. And I actually did my video today about it because it's quite sinister the way Harry is. It is very quite sinister in the sense that he's surrounded by four bodyguards, and then the guy is escorted out, but he still managed to film with a little camera or something, and you can see people fluffing him around, fluffing his dress and everything, and it's actually quite sinister because I get the feeling, I don't know whether they're trying to keep people out from protecting Harry,
Mhm.
or to keep him out of the loop of everything that's going on. It's really, really.
I saw a video by the Royal Group. I didn't have a chance to look at it. I do know there's a new docuseries from ITV about the royals that's coming out on the
No, no,
21st.
no, no, no. This is a French guy. This
Okay,
is
so
the Royal Griff actually did a whole video on it yesterday, which was
I know that.
really cool.
I didn't have a chance to see that one. I'm definitely gonna have to check it out.
Yeah, it's all over the news. It's all over the news. It's the French guy is talking how Archewell is a shell company because the address that they post there is not there, and you can see the people. Like they're asking. He's asking when he went into the reception area of the big building. He asked for Archewell. They didn't know what that was. Because you see, you have to put a physical address on where your charity, your foundation is, because I'm pretty sure you're charging for office space and
Right.
stuff like that.
CC says it's the lawyer's office on Wilshire Boulevard. Yeah, so they probably, for security reasons, because they're so worried, use maybe the lawyer's office. But I am interested to hear more about this because I think their whole charity is a farce. We all know that.
Yeah.
Asking what's the name of it. I think the Royal Griff has it on her channel. So we're definitely going to have
Yeah,
to go.
but it's this French guy. It's all over the news. If you Google French journalist exposes Archewell, it's there.
Okay. Hi, guys. Sorry, trying to read the comments here. Hi, guys. Yeah, like I said, I saw a part of it on the Royal Grift, and then I knew that the ITV one was coming out on the 21st. So there's so much news with Harry and Meghan. It's really hard to keep track of everything that's happening. The coronation, I think, is lines here in America anyway.
Well, what is your take? What is your take on Meghan Markle? You're in the States. What is your take of what's going on right now with her not coming? Oh, Meghan Markle has snubbed the royal family. What is your take on that?
Yeah, I have quite a few different opinions. Personally, I actually have a video coming out today, but I think this kind of spells the end of Meghan Markle and the royals. I think they're done with her. There's nothing else left for her to do. She's just part of them by marriage. They could give two tosses, honestly, about Meghan. Harry, he's still blood family. But Meghan Markle, in my opinion, by her not going to the coronation, it's signaling the end of her relationship and her role to the royal family. What else is she going to do? She can show up for Christmas and be like, hey, y'all, let's celebrate Christmas. They haven't celebrated Christmas 4 out of the 5 years they've been married, okay? The last time she went for a state event was Her Majesty's funeral. So by her not going to a coronation, her father-in-law's biggest event of his life, 70 years, historic moment, you can't make it. You got to go to Chuck E. Cheese with Archie and spill out candles on a damn birthday cake. It's like, really? That's more important than being a part of history for your family, for your husband's family, for your kids' grandfather to be king. What makes them a prince and princess is him being king and he's having a coronation, but you can't make it? Really? Like, is your calendar that full? Seriously. So to me, signals she's not wanted. They have no relationship, and she doesn't want to face the music.
I was thinking about that, and I was thinking, I woke up this morning thinking so differently about this. I woke up and I thought, Meghan Markle, in my opinion, is a psychopath. And she only uses people when they serve her a purpose. So right now, the feeling that I have is that the reason why she makes these unreasonable demands, that she knows are unreasonable. She knows that they haven't been racist towards her. She knows all of that. She knows all of that. But if you listen to this, she never actually said it. It's Harry who said they were not racist against her, But So I think she made all these unreasonable demands. One, because I've always said that arrogance is what usually gets people down, is their downfall. Meghan Markle right now, whether we like it or not, or whether we choose to believe it or not, she's riding this wave of I am so important. Because in her mind, and this is why I tell people, in her mind, she has gotten away with everything. She gets rewarded for her bad behavior. Okay? She called the royal family, the monarchy, the United Kingdom, and pretty much the entire Commonwealth racist.
Right.
Nothing.
Yeah.
The most we got is recollections may vary, which people thought as a big win. I don't know why that is a big win. Had another person said that about the monarchy, or look how what they did with Lady Susan Hussey, how they made her apologize for something that wasn't even racist. Immediate, dismissed. And yet with Meghan Markle, we still have her on the royal website. And not only that, her children, because I haven't really confirmed it, but I don't know if Harry's title, the Duke title, is inherited, which means that Archie will get it.
Well, if he's Prince Archie, yeah. Well, I think you're forgetting one important thing, Paula. She has the race card.
You know what? But I don't think so. I don't think that works, Michelle, because
it does for her right now. It's
yeah, but it works for her because she found weak targets.
Right.
Because for somebody else with balls or with ovaries or whatever, it wouldn't work. It wouldn't work. I mean, people by now know that Meghan Markle is a liar. People by now know that that is her skanky behavior that plays that, and I've said in my video,
right.
The royal title opened the A-list Hollywood doors, and her actions shut them back down again.
Well, unfortunately, in America, that race card works, and she knew it.
But not anymore. Maybe at the beginning. I have a feeling maybe at the beginning. And I've said this many times, and I've given the examples that in the United Kingdom, it is illegal to falsely use the race card just to get away with bad behavior or an action. There's actually, and I've given the history, I've given the law case of the man who got, at least there's a few of them who got 12 months suspended sentence plus a fine. It is illegal in the United Kingdom to right. use the race card to get away with bad actions. So I think that Meghan Markle is done with the monarchy. She feels that she no longer needs them because she has the whether we like it or not.
Yes.
She has the platform.
Mm-hmm.
While she's still married to Harry. I think that the minute she divorces Harry, she loses that platform but then she has the little prince and princess in the United States.
Right. In my opinion, I think you're correct. But in my opinion, she's right now, the race topic is very hot. And and I know a lot of people are waking up to that it's bullcrap, right? But yeah, people like Shouty Shola, who just went on Good Morning Britain and was saying that Meghan is a hero because she's standing her ground and she's drawing a line in the sand and she's telling the royal family, I'm not coming because you're evil. I have horrible in-laws, even though they haven't been mean to her. People literally think she's being a hero, and they're actually mad at Harry for going to the quote racist family, but his wife is staying behind. So Meghan is definitely playing the part of the victim, because if she was to go to the coronation, Paula, she would look like a hypocrite. So by Harry going, she's kind of playing both sides of the fence, right? She's playing the dutiful mom. I'm such a mom. I'm so maternal, but I'm also a victim of my horrible racist in-laws. And how dare my husband leave me to go to his horrible family? And Shola is literally praising her as a superhero.
So, but I'm going to ask you this. I don't know if you're a mom or not, but I am a mother anywhere I go. I mean, I'm still Henrik's mom, even though he's in Canada right now. So why would I'm going to stay behind and be a mother? Does that mean that if she goes to the UK, she's not a mother?
Right. But
so that argument I don't get, because
yeah,
I mean, she's left the kids back home whenever she's gone and done this thing in New York and all kinds of things flying all over the place. She's been doing that. So for me, what I get from her is like she made these unreasonable demands to see, they'll give in to her because she's gotten used to getting her way.
Right.
She's gotten used to. I mean, she gets rewarded. There's no consequences. She committed perjury in the United Kingdom, and that worked well for her. She still won the case. After committing perjury, she still won the case.
Right.
She goes in international shows, lies, slanders her way through everything, and there's absolutely no consequences. And Parliament in the United Kingdom are not holding her to task.
Right, because they have that 1%er rule, the royals. They have separate rules than we do. Again, if we did a tenth of what they did, we would be held accountable. But we also have to remember that Meghan Markle is a narcissist. And I've been telling people her love language is awards and accolation and action. And so when she married Harry, she thought she was, getting the keys to the Magic Kingdom and the credit cards, and Daddy Charles was going to pay for everything. And then when she found out she was married to number 6, and that she was not going to be number 1, she was not going to get her way, that she was 6th in line, she didn't like that. And so she was going to throw her card around and said, but I'm a woman of color. I'm the princess of the people. I'm Princess Diana 2.0. I want to be the princess of the Commonwealth. And they said, nah, you can go sit and knot cotton, get your IKEA furniture, and we'll let you know when we're ready for you. She didn't like that. So now they're throwing their weight around, but they're not listening. It's not working. They're like, you're married to number 5. And so supposedly the reason why they were holding out was that they wanted to see who they were sitting with at the church. They wanted to know where their seating arrangement was going to be. And we know that Meghan didn't get that apology. So she didn't get what she wanted. So I think she threw a fit, Paula. I think there was some smashing of plates in Montecito. There was some flying saucers. Poor little Harry was getting from both ends. He's getting yelled at by Daddy on the phone saying, he's getting yelled at by Meghan saying, where's my apology? Where are we going to sit? Where's my tiara? So poor Harry probably just got beaten to death, right, by both ends. And he had to RSVP by himself. And let's be honest here, she's not a ride or die chick. He is
No, she's not.
Who's not going to stick with him when that Titanic hits. And we haven't seen it.
What are you reading?
Audio's not great. I know there's a little bit of background noise. I don't know if there's any cars going outside, Paula.
No, not outside my house.
Okay. Yeah, you guys, we're sorry. Sometimes with the live, there's a little bit of a noise. Can you guys hear me okay? I know there's a little bit of noise.
I can hear you fine. I don't hear anything.
Yeah. Okay, so someone says, Royal Daily Tea, USA Constitution commands title removal, all titles for citizenship, right? To be completely honest, I'm not 100% sure that could be a law. I definitely know if she goes into politics, she would not be able to have a title. As far as Harry goes, I'm not really sure about that one. But yeah, I really do think that Meghan Markle has made a huge mistake. By not going to the coronation.
Well, if she is going into politics and if she's planning to divorce Harry, if we look at what she has been slowly doing before she left, or when she did the Oprah thing, she said that she had these thoughts about that she didn't want to be alive anymore, and nobody helped her, even Harry. That Harry did not help her with even teaching her the ropes about even the national anthem. She had to Google the national anthem. So basically she's made Harry this pretty useless guy, because even she was the one who called Tyler Perry to get their freedom to the United States.
Right.
Being in the United States, and that Oprah interview, Harry did not come up great, because he came out like a 37-year-old man who can't make it, who can't earn a living because he's asking his father for money.
Right.
And now from the Robert Jobson book, he says that Charles didn't want to take his calls anymore because every time he called, he shouted obscenities at him and asked for money. And Charles said, I'm not a bank.
Right. Basically, basically, she had an engagement outfit that was $75,000 that she wore one time. Who has a dress for $75,000? So again, I think Meghan Markle, Harry was telling her, whatever you want, Meghan, what Meghan wants, Meghan gets. She married into one of the world's richest families, so she thought cha-ching, 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 and Charles had to rein her in and told her no, and she didn't like that. So I think from the very beginning, the get-go, Meghan had illusions of grandeur and then realized you're married to number 6. There are rules. You're going to step in line. You're going to curtsy to Kate. You're going to do all these things. And then she realized, oh, I don't like this. Yeah, Meghan doesn't get in line. You have to remember, Meghan was a princess. Her daddy made her a princess, Meghan. I mean, she was a princess from birth, so she already in her mind was a princess. So this is just making it official, and she's a narcissist. And you can't say no or reason with a narcissist. And they in their mind, every time you say no to them, you're slighting them. Do you know what I mean? Like they collect slights and they use them to weaponize you at a later date.
Yeah, then they use it to do a archetype spot of every word that they don't like. But I really do think that Meghan Markle is setting Harry up. So when her divorce comes, he's the bad guy. He went and did all these things. Did you see what he wrote in that book? How he talked about women. This is what I was facing because I was talking. He's talking about mounting women. He's talking. He's been a complete asshole to the matron lady at Eton College. That he shouldn't have been. I don't think he got it there into Eden on his own, to tell you the truth. And then he trashes Rebecca Brooks. I mean, he doesn't come up well in that book. So I think that Meghan Markle is setting him up because when she divorces him, and then he did the most inconceivable thing. He went out with Tom Bradby and said that the royal family wasn't racist, that they never said that they were racist. But that's Harry who said it, not Meghan.
Right. Well, the thing is, again, she's a narcissist, so she's a pro. If you've noticed, Meghan Markle has never owned up to anything wrong that she's ever done. She's never admitted to anything negative. If anything, she's stolen her story, right? But that wasn't really her story. But she doesn't really tell you real stories about herself. She talks about, I make a good bolognese sauce, crap like that. But Harry is the one who's the TMI. He's out there freeballing it. She doesn't step in. Go ahead, make a fool of yourself. This is good for me. So they do have two separate paths, and you're correct. She's setting herself up for future success. She's going to use the Duchess of Sussex title really good time and monetize it, right?
I think she didn't come to the coronation because she wants to have the moral high ground when she divorces Harry and said, listen, I didn't go because I'm holding on to my principles. Yeah. And yet you, my husband, instead of staying by my side and saying, I'm not going, you went.
Yep. You're absolutely correct. She is setting him up. She's playing the mommy card, the victim card, they're so mean to me, so I'm going to stay home and choose peace and work on my archetypes and my new book. I'm a victim. She's always painting herself the victim, and Harry's always, building her up. Because as a flying monkey, that's what they do. They sell you their wife. She's so great. She's the greatest thing. She's just like my mom. Look at her. She's so perfect. She's an innocent victim. And then he's over there telling you embarrassing stuff about himself. But Meghan, if you've noticed, doesn't do that at all.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, the thing that I do consider, do you think she's going to do something on the coronation day? Because this is what people are going to be waiting for, something like that. And the thing is that whether we like it, whether people here like it or not, Charles is a narcissist. This is a moment he's been waiting for. There is no way that this man was going to be sharing it with the likes of Meghan Markle. Or going to have Meghan Markle or Harry take it away. This man has been waiting for this for almost 70 years or whatever the queen has been. There is absolutely no way that he's going to let a D-list woman take that spotlight away from him, because Charles is a narcissist.
Right. Someone asked me, why am I concentrating on Meghan? Because she was asking me about Meghan, but I definitely am not blaming this 100% on Meghan at all. Harry's a grown adult. He makes his own decisions, but I really do think if Harry would have married someone else Besides Meghan, none of this would have really come out because Meghan was the one who introduced him to Hollywood and to Netflix and to the book. I personally think if Harry would have married someone else, we wouldn't have known all of this stuff in the public. I don't think any of this would have happened. I think it was Meghan who brought about the movies and the Netflix and the Hollywood. She was the one who was showing him, hey, we can in Hollywood. It was Meghan, in my opinion, who got him on that path. But
but if you listen to the book, if you read the book, he talks about being at Courtney's house before he met Meghan. Harry had been hanging around the Hollywood crowd for a while because he was an A-lister. So, I mean, who else can stay at Courtney's home without knowing, or, oh, yes, Prince Harry. You know what I mean? Who else? So I think he's been around the Hollywood crowd for a long time. And I actually, in my video, I asked this question. Let's say that Meghan divorces him and people have him back. Mm-hmm. Okay? So should people allow a snake that's bitten you more than once back in? That's the nature of Harry. Now, he had 2 beautiful girlfriends, and it's not the press that was the downfall of those 2 relationships. It was his behavior. If you look at both of them, say that he had very paranoid things that, you know, so people should be worried of the next girlfriend he gets? Because what if the next girlfriend is worse than Meghan Markle? Does that mean that he's going to behave worse than with Meghan Markle? At what point are people going to finally say, yeah, Harry's an asshole? And he found somebody who celebrates him being an asshole and allows him to let out the worst parts of himself. That the royal family did a very good job of covering up. Because right. What we're seeing right now, and this is my very firm opinion, is the real Harry.
Oh, 100%.
Oh, thank you so much for the super chat. Can you see the super chat there?
Yes, I do. I see it.
Okay, thank you. I can't see it. I just saw a green button.
Savannah Kitten. Thank you for that.
Thank you so much, sweetie. But that's just my opinion. You know, it's nothing. I know people want to blame him. I know he's an idiot. And I don't think Meghan Markle is smart. I think Meghan Markle is dumb, and she managed to get somebody dumber than her who had, and I really do believe that Harry's power, and by extension Meghan's power, better yet, is the fact that she's married to that idiot whose family is powerful and whose family are doing anything they can to protect him, and while she's with him, they protect her by extension.
Right. Like I said, there's always been a problem. Harry's always been a problem, but I that out on him more and gave him an opportunity to showcase it to the world. Because I don't think Harry would have made any of that public in a book if he wasn't with Meghan. That's my opinion. You got another super chat
from whom?
Nikki Grinley. Thank you for this.
Thank you so much. Thanks so much. Thanks so much. But what do you think what do you think is going to happen now with Meghan over there? She's already working on archetypes. Mm-hmm. The second. I bet you. I wonder if the archetype is going to be all about the coronation. You know, it's so funny. She didn't do the archetypes about her pregnancy. You know, geriatric pregnancy, the difficulties of being pregnant, or why didn't she do one being a mom? The words that were positive. She did all these words about negative things and archetypes. Why didn't she do one about being a mom if what she is first and foremost is a mom? The most beautiful word to me, you know, is mom. Why didn't she do about that title, about mom? Thank you so much, Nikki. Thank you so much, sweetie.
Yeah, I don't know what she's going to do for season 2. I'm kind of confused, to be honest, because 1, her trademark was denied for archetype. So that's
is it denied or on hold?
No, it was denied. 2, she was supposed to redo the TIG, which in my opinion, she should just go to the TIG. If she would have came out the gate before when they just did Megxit and opened up the TIG and kept her mouth shut, she probably would have been very successful. Seriously.
She'd be a millionaire.
Yeah, she could have been the next Gwyneth Paltrow, right? But instead, she wanted to play the victim and have her voice. She didn't want to be silent, even though she hasn't stopped talking for 3 years straight. But I can't imagine what the second season of Archetype is going to be, considering the fact they weren't going to talk about the royal family, Paula. What the hell is she going to talk about? I'm very curious what this season is going to be.
Well, I'm sure she'll have all this life that she didn't get away with. I mean, how she had to fight for prince or princess. I wonder if she's going to talk about being linked, not ranked. I mean, she's getting this award from Gloria Steinem, which completely blows my mind. And she's not getting the award as Rachel Meghan Markle. No, 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 no. We're getting it as Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, a very much ranked person.
Her love tank is going to be full for the month of May, Paula, because she's getting 2 awards. 2. One for
Which one?
what she's getting an award for archetype and one for Woman of the Year with Gloria Steinem. She's getting 2 awards in May. So she doesn't need the coronation. She's getting awards.
No, no, no. Which one? I thought she was getting the. Oh, thank you very much, Duchess. Thank you very much, Duchess of Dove. Thank you very much. No, why? I thought she was getting only one of the 16 from the hands of Gloria Steinem.
Getting 2 awards. She's getting one on the 20. She's getting one for archetype and one from the Gloria Steinem. She's getting 2 awards, Paula.
So for the archetypes, which one is the archetype?
I don't remember which one it was, but she's getting.
Don't tell me that's her People's Choice Award.
No, that's a different one. She's getting another one. So when I say her love tank is going to be full, Paula, she doesn't need to go to the coronation because she's getting 2 awards. Her love tank is running over. So who needs the coronation when she could be the belle of the ball? You know,
that's what I mean. That's what I mean. You see, for me, she feels that the monarchy has taken her as far as they can. She's gotten the royal title. She's got her kids' royal titles. We know that Charles doesn't have the balls to take them away from them. In fact, he capitulated with the People magazine thing. She's got a platform. She's got Oprah, and that she knows that Oprah and Tyler Perry are jumping at the chance of calling the royal family racist and all kinds of things, and they will do that for their Duchess.
Right.
I really do think she's getting ready, because I think she is going to use the fact that Harry went, because if I were married to somebody and my family went and did something so horrible like what they did, that they had to flee the entire continent. They didn't move to anywhere in Europe, or even, they didn't go to the Cotswolds, to get away from Buckingham Palace. They moved continents. It was the Freedom Flight. Remember that Harry and Meghan were going into the Freedom Flight to the United States from Canada, and I'm offended by that because Canada is pretty safe. So I wouldn't go to a celebration with the people who have done so much harm to my family, or my husband and my family.
Right.
And people are saying, oh, it's his duty. No, it's not. He could have turned down the invitation. Look at the Duke of Windsor. He didn't show up.
Right. I think you're right. And I think they also realize that their bread and butter is with their connection to the royal family. So they have that little shoestring connection that they're holding on. If Harry wouldn't have gone to the coronation, I think it would have been really bad for their brand. I mean, let's be honest, their brand is holding on by life support, like Kenzie had said. So I think they needed to show their face to show people we're still with the royals. But by Meghan not going, it sends a very weird mixed message. It's like, why did she go? Is she not going because she feels like she's a victim and they're mean to her? Is she staying because she wants to play the mom role? If they both would have went together, it would have been a stronger, united front as a brand and as a couple, right? If they would have showed up. But
I think it would have been a bigger message if both had not gone.
Yeah.
Because then it would have shown that Harry's sticking by his wife, by his principles. He's
right.
a royal. And you know what? To me, people said that he had to go for his brand. I think it's the opposite. I think he shouldn't have gone. He should have said, I graciously appreciate it, but I'm going to stay behind with my wife and children, for my child's birthday. The family's not willing to apologize. And that, that's all we wanted, an apology, to acknowledge the racism thing, whatever you want to call it. That would have been really powerful, at least in the United States. And that would have reassured the people in the United States, hey, these guys, if they're willing to do that, it's because it must be true, because they're willing to pass up this thing.
Well, I think Harry went because he wants to open up the door. Hi, Megan Small. I think Harry wants to open up the door for reconciliation, because I think he knows that they're in deep doo-doo and that it's not as green as he thought it was going to be. It's a little harder over there in Montecito to pay your own bills without daddy. And I think he's trying to kind of, get out of jail card, because if this marriage hits the Titanic and the iceberg, Meghan's got her life raft. Where's Harry going to go? right? So I think Harry's trying to keep that door of communication open with his dad by showing his dad, okay, I'm willing to come here. Let's get this reconciliation going. Even though it's probably too late, I think Harry, part of him misses his family. Part of him wants to make it work with Meghan and the family, even though the family probably doesn't want to with Meghan, and Meghan probably doesn't care. I think Harry, by him going, is trying to send a message that I'm still willing to be part of the family on some level, and we still have a connection to the royals. Because if he didn't go, Paula, then that would really signal the end of their relationship. And then it would make them look like hypocrites for giving their kids the prince and princess title, which they just did, like, what, 3 weeks ago? So this whole thing is just really weird. You don't go to the coronation, but you invoke the right of their title. So
Yeah, but I don't. King Charles shouldn't have allowed it to happen to begin with.
yeah,
He could have issued a letters patent from the very beginning, saying that Harry and Meghan were, he could have said that Harry was no longer gonna be a prince of the realm, because that's a non of those titles. All of the royal titles are honorary titles.
right. So
You
it's
know,
really strange, but I think Harry definitely wants that connection to the royals. He wants to have some kind of dialogue. And I don't think Meghan and Harry, when they did Megxit, really wanted to leave the royal family, Paula. They didn't. They didn't. They thought in their head they were going to tell the royal family what we're going to do and how we're going to do it. They never got rid of their titles when they could have, right? And then they gave their kids titles. They don't want to give up that connection to the royal family. They just want their way. So I think that's kind of a way for Harry to go, is to try to ease his way back in the fold somehow. Although I definitely think I don't think the royal family will take Harry back until he's divorced from Meghan.
I don't think he should be taken back. Period. I think Harry has, that he's going back because he loves his family. I don't think he's going back out of love for his family. I think Harry resents the fact that his family makes him famous, and is what keeps him going. I really do think that Harry is only going back to get more footage, to write another book about his more perceived slides that they sent him way back at Nigeria, wherever they want to call it, Siberia. Sorry, not Nigeria. I keep getting confused because, of course, Meghan being 43% Nigerian. So I think he went because he wants to get more slights, so he can have more ammunition to call himself a victim. And to write another book as to how they froze him out. I think that, and I really do think he resents the fact that he needs the royal family for publicity. I really do. I really think that he resents the fact that, yeah, he says, "Oh, I don't want to be a prince." Then he can give up the title. But then he said, "Why would that make any difference?" It would make a difference. In
Right.
principle, it would, because then it would show that he means what he says, and it's not just bullshit.
Right. The two of them are walking, talking contradictions. You really can't believe a word that comes out their mouth. And the way that he sat there with a straight face and said, "We didn't say they were racist." You could tell he was almost smiling.
Where was the word racist? He's like,
Yeah.
and it's so funny. I did a video right after the Oprah interview, and I said, Oprah and Meghan were doing this dance about not wanting to say it, but heavily imply it, so they would both have plausible deniability. You know what I mean? But it was very, very much implied, very, very much said. So it's, I just don't get it. But I mean, it's going to be very interesting to see. And I don't know why people want to accept him back, to tell you the truth. Why people, oh, we want Harry back, as though Harry is, after everything, people want to still believe that it's all Meghan's fault. I don't get that.
I don't believe it's all Meghan's fault. I think they're two peas in a pod. But she definitely lit him up and got him going, wound him up as the flying monkey, and now he just won't stop. And she doesn't have to do anything. She's just sitting back, watching it implode. And then she could say, "Well, it wasn't me, it was Harry." So she's kind of playing both sides, but she's going to come out looking like the innocent victim. She's going to get, the title for life, monetize it, have her people behind her, the people who are going to believe her. There's just people who are never going to stop thinking that she's this perfect, innocent victim who just wanted good in the world. wanted to be part of the family, but they were mean to her because she just breathed. She existed and they were jealous of her. Some people actually believe that. So I don't know. Meghan's an interesting person. She's just a narcissist. Honestly,
And
she's
she's boring as hell. I gotta tell you. I mean, I think that her next archetype is gonna be about. Oh my God, I didn't get the roles because apparently we're talking about Tyler Perry giving her a job. I was laughing. I mean, I mean everything is so sad. I mean, it's so pathetic. And as I said before, her power is the fact that she's not held accountable by the royal family. That's what her power is.
right. Well, I think a lot of people, Paula, are starting to finally see through them. If you've noticed, we've been doing this for a couple of years now in the Megxit community, right? But now every time you turn around, there's a new person jumping on the bandwagon, calling out Meghan Markle and Harry. It's like the new thing. We've been doing it for a couple of years. I think people are finally realizing she's full of it, and he's full of it. I don't think he did himself any favors by writing that book. He made himself look like a fool. With more stuff, it's like, seriously, like, we're talking toilets. Like, what else are you gonna say? And if Meghan Markle writes her book, I don't think that book's gonna be,
Yeah, another bestseller.
Diaries, Dear Diary, Kate didn't smile at me today. She didn't bow to me. Oh my God. Like I said, I just can't imagine who the heck is going to be on her archetype. It was such a bad podcast.
But apparently was number one. Apparently she beat Joe Rogan. Apparently, it's unbelievable. Even though the numbers, apparently now numbers lie, because she didn't get the same amount of, she wasn't anywhere near the amount of views that Joe Rogan was getting, not even first top 10. And yet she beat Joe Rogan and the first 4 or 5 podcasters. Despite of the fact that, and they refuse to show the number of views, because if you look at Joe Rogan's or the first top podcaster, you can see how many views, right? But for Meghan's, they didn't show them.
Well, the interesting thing is her producer, Rebecca Sonanis, threw her under the bus, and she's no longer working for her. And she kind of said, well, I did all the work. So who the heck's producing season 2? You're right. It's going to be interesting to see what happens, because most of the people have already left. They don't have
Didn't she have like 28 producers?
Yeah, I don't think she has hardly anybody left. So I'm very curious to see what the next going to happen. Is maybe Archie going to sing Merry Christmas or something? Like, I have no idea what's going to happen. But they can't do the second season the way they did the first, because the first season was literally so bad, where she was caught making up stories. Like, she stole that Korean spa story, Paula, word for word. Like,
yeah.
I don't get it. I don't know.
But I got to tell you, you guys in America and the United States, why aren't you reporting Archewell? Because anybody can. For example, you have to request the tax return from them, and if you don't receive it, you can report it to the IRS, because by law they have to give you a detailed thing of the tax return. I haven't heard anybody doing that.
Well, I know the Royal Grift is doing a lot of videos on it, so maybe she'll do it.
But I don't understand why. I mean, I'm not in the States. That's why I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
I'm doing something else in Canada. Pretty soon I'll post it, what I'm doing in Canada. Yeah, I mean, I don't understand it. And here we go again. Why people, and it's something as simple as sending them an email or a letter requesting the tax return, and put your address, and if you don't get it, then you report it to the IRS. I don't understand why people are not doing that. I don't understand why, and I don't know if it's because of the current administration, Hunter Biden, Joe Biden, that they let them get away with everything. I don't understand why people are not reporting Harry to the federal FBI, because by him admitting that he's doing drugs in the United States as a federal crime, as an immigrant, he cannot, state laws do not apply to him. And therefore, every time he's written in that book, Spare, that he rolled joints outside of the house at Tyler Perry's, that's him admitting to a crime, because state laws don't apply to immigrants. Even if it's legal in California, federal law applies to him. It has to be legal in all states. And I don't know why people are not reporting that.
Yeah. Can you guys hear me? Some people were saying that the sound caught out. Can y'all hear? Okay. Yeah, like I said, I don't know. I don't know if people care enough in the United States. I think we're all kind of sick of them, to be honest. So I think someone like the World Griff probably would do a phenomenal research into it. But I just don't know if people in America care that much about Harry and Meghan to research their charity. I think there was a story on the publication about Archewell that somebody was, but I didn't remember.
But I was going to ask you, what do you think is going to happen to those kids, if they have any, the alleged children?
I don't know. I feel bad for them. I feel like they're missing out on their family on both sides and their heritage. And maybe they might have some expensive counseling when they're teenagers. I don't know.
Because those children are completely isolated from everybody. Domestic violence or abuse happens behind closed doors or in plain sight. I think here we're seeing it both ways. We don't know what's happening behind doors, but in plain sight, we're seeing the isolation of those children from every member of their family, which is a form of of abuse, because these children don't have another lifeline other than these two who are incredibly dysfunctional parents. So in plain sight, we're seeing the abuse of two very young children that are being purposely isolated from everybody who's related to them. And nobody's doing anything about it. And then when things happen and they go wrong, people go, oh yeah, we could see the signs. Here we're seeing the sign very clearly, and nobody's doing anything about it. I've lived domestic violence, and I know what happens behind closed doors. But also, what's happening with these two children, it's really criminal, because if you go to the United Nations children's rights, world rights, they have a right to relate to have a relationship with extended family members. And one of the reasons for that is because if you have family members who see the children on a regular basis, they can detect, there's a pattern that they can see what is normal and what's not normal. But when they don't have that, and they can detect immediately when something is off. But when you have these children isolated, you can't establish a pattern of what's normal and happy for these kids. And this is one of the reasons why it's a right of every child to have a relationship with all his extended family, so they can see. I don't mean that they're going to be every day in their home, but once a week, twice, especially if they're around, people can see that, and that's part of. And these children are being denied the most basic rights. And nobody's doing anything. Everybody thinks everything is okay about that.
Yeah, it's really sad how they hide their kids. And I think that Meghan did not do herself any favors with all that smoke and mirrors. And that's why a lot of people have questions about the surrogacy. There's just too many weird things about them and their kids for this privacy. And then they try to throw you these random photos like we're going to care to see their kids 3 years later. On the Netflix series, it's like, I don't want to see your kids. I don't care at this point. That was a whole vanity project to show the kids at that point. And it kind of did make sense why you won't share your kids ever, but then for Netflix, when you get paid, you share your kids. So it just makes you look like you're just for profit. And I think those kids are going to grow up and be resentful of their parents missing out on all these opportunities with their family, that they couldn't have a relationship because mama wanted a Netflix deal. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's very sad. I hope they have a good life. I'm sure they probably will on some level, but they look like they never leave their house. They're never packed outside, Paula. No one ever sees those kids.
Thank you, Mameti. Well, they're never packed, but thank you for the super chat, Mameti. I don't think that they're never packed because nobody ever follows them unless Meghan calls them. This is what people and I don't know. I mean, it is quite a sad a sad thing what's happened, because Meghan benefited from having relationship with both side of our families, because Mr. Markle has a lot of pictures and Samantha has posted, and that Samantha's lawsuit has been refiled. She told me that it looked good, so fingers crossed, and apparently it's been accepted. So, unless Meghan is going to ask for that to be dismissed, it seems is that they're going to end up being deposed.
Yeah, hopefully that goes through. I would really love that to be televised, like Gwyneth Paltrow's trial was.
Well, supposedly people can. Those things are supposed to be public.
That would be cool. Someone said they refused to have Archie at the Ara Family Hospital in London and kept the UK public in the dark when the birth happened. Yeah, that whole thing of smoke and mirrors just didn't do them any favors. It immediately brought a lot of mistrust for Harry and Meghan, almost immediately, in my opinion.
All the lies. Everything is lies about these people. It's going to be really interesting, the coronation. What do you think Harry's going to be doing? Do you think he's going to be sulking? Do you think he's going to be sad now that he's not coming with Meghan, that their royal family are going to rearrange the seating and they're going to sit him in the front? Do you think that they sent them a fake thing showing them way back in the back just to get Meghan not to come? And now that Harry's there, they're going to put him right next to William.
Yeah, I don't know. I think he's going to be on. Well, there's rumors that they're keeping him separated from William and the rest of the family because they don't want any awkward camera shots, the money shot. They don't want people to get some side eye, so they're going to keep them like in Siberia. I think he's going to be with the tier 2 royals behind the candlestick. We're barely going to see him. It's going to be in and out. That's what I think. I think it's going to be in and out. But there's also rumors that he has to appear in court on May 9th for one of his lawsuits in the UK. So it's kind of...
Oh, yeah. Yes. Well,
being in and out and then coming back again. Like, I don't know. Hi, Queen Gertie. I don't know. So it would make more sense for him to go and stay, right, for the lawsuit.
But he loves, for an environmentalist, he loves, flying back and forth. So we don't know what the hell's going on with those two, But it's going to be interesting because you don't want them also next to William, because William can turn around and punch him and, break his necklace again. This time he won't hit the dog bowl. He can hit the candle.
Right. And I honestly do not believe that he's going to get an audience with his father and William. Maybe, but I mean, they're going to be so busy, like the coronation, him getting an actual audience. I don't know. Do you think it's going to happen, Paula? Do you think they might have a heart to heart with Harry when he goes in?
Oh, I'm sure they will.
Yeah.
I'm sure they will. Charles is very weak. And it's stupid because he keeps giving him ammunition. I wouldn't have invited him. And it goes to show that Harry and Meghan have no integrity, that they're playing both ways. They're sitting on the fence trying to play both sides, and they were told you're either in or out, and yet here they are playing both sides. They're not in and they're not out.
Right.
Not according to the monarchy's website.
Yes, Mama T says he's in at a 12-hour flight out and will miss Archie's birthday. Yeah, he missed his other one too.
But I don't know why he has to miss it. Harry could have flown in with Meghan and have the birthday all together in the United Kingdom.
Right.
Invite their cousins and stuff. Just Meghan not be part of the coronation.
Right. Yeah, like I said, everything they do, nothing makes sense because they literally did it last year or the year before for the Jubilee, but now they can't do it this year. So
I really do think they're idiots. I
think Meghan gave Harry a hard time. I really do. I think she threw a fit because she knew she was going to be behind the candlestick. They weren't going to be on the balcony. She wasn't going to get the tiara. So she's like, why am I going to fly there just to hang out? Like the Platinum Jubilee, they barely showed up for one event, right, for the church service. And then she was hanging out in the car playing peekaboo in the curtains. But other than that, they really didn't have a role anywhere. So this is kind of going to be the same thing. So she's thinking, unless they can be involved.
I was going to ask you, was it during the Jubilee that Meghan Markle came from one place and she rolled down the windows of the car. Which event was that? That was not the Jubilee because she wasn't wearing the white hat.
No, that was the Jubilee.
It was?
Yeah, I remember she was playing in the window and she was doing the shh with the kids and the curtain, and then she rolled down the window.
Oh, but that's okay.
That
Yeah,
was-
but she wasn't wearing that white hat. That's what that's not after the church ceremony. That was something else.
Hat. Yeah, that was a different one where she was hanging out playing in the curtains with the kids, and she had that navy outfit on, and she was like really tan. She looked good, but she went.
Why didn't she bring her kids there? The kids supposedly were in the United Kingdom. Why didn't she? That would have been a perfect money shot for her to carry Lily and lean over the window and say shh to the other kids. Don't you think?
Yeah, it was weird that her kids. The whole thing was weird, and the only thing that we got was that weird photo that they released after for her birthday.
From Misa Harriman, that looked so fake.
Yeah, it was weird. Like I said, they just don't do themselves any favors by this smoke and mirrors. It's like, just be honest. Just be honest. You don't need to hide them like 007. They're just bizarre. They're their worst own enemies, in my opinion. That's why people don't like them. If people can't trust you, and then when you do say something, it proves to be a lie, it's like, we're done. That's why in America, most people don't even know about them. They don't follow them. And the people who do, you either have people who think she's a victim or the people who can't stand her. There's really no happy medium. They either don't know her, they don't like her, or they think she's a victim. But
some people have written to me and they said that they're expecting Meghan to actually show up.
Yeah, I heard that. I don't know. I don't think she would do that because for the security issue and the seating, I don't know.
She has her own security. I don't mean she'd show up in the church thing, but she would show up in England anyways. Or that she's going to release something with Archie and Lily, the big reveal of them together, especially for Archie's birthday, that she's going to release like video footage and stuff like that right around the same time of the coronation, just to see who will watch that or whatever, if it'll come from the coronation thing. I mean, this woman is insane. I think she wants to test to see how popular it is. I'd be very surprised if she doesn't publish. She will have to publish something because we know she loves to issuing statements as though she's in a castle in the United States,
Yeah. She's going to release some photos of Archie's birthday, with Tyler Perry or somebody in attendance. There's going to be some kind of, or she's going to be papped walking with her kids.
Or maybe the baptism of Lily, or Princess Lily, sorry.
Yeah. She's going to send some kind of, there's going to be some pap photographs of Meghan and the kids.
Or even a video.
Yep, maybe. Oh, did you hear about
she'll need to pull the big guns in order to top the coronation. So she'll need to really, really pimp the kids out,
What did you hear about the gift on the USB drive that they're going to send to King Archie?
God.
Carol, that they're going to send, there's like pictures that the kids drew.
And that Lily drew a card and stuff like that. Oh my good Lord. I mean, these two children are completely like they're savant, they're so gifted. What was the first word that Archie said? Dinosaur, what the hell it was?
Alligator,
minotaur, or whatever.
Oh, Diana. Yeah. So supposedly they're going to send some photographs or pictures that the kids drew on a video for King Charles. I'm sure he's just so thrilled about the USB. I'm sure he would have appreciated the kids actually being.
They better check the USB for viruses, Why send the USB? Why not send the actual cards,
Right. Meghan
Markle. Here's the card, the drawing from our kids, I mean, why a USB?
Yeah.
Do a card on recycled paper, something that they can keep their hands on. Why a USB?
Yeah, Rosemary says Meghan said no. She refuses to be bait anymore. She is well loved in America. Petty jealousness. What miserable women you are. Gossip, gossip, gossip. Okay. Well, I guess we do have a fan of Meghan, huh? So Rosemary, answer me a question. Why do you like Meghan so much? What has she done that you think she's so amazing? Please tell me, because I really am at a loss.
Let me know if she answers, because I'm dyslexic. And on the phone I can't really
leave. Hey, we'll open the discussion. If you're a fan of Meghan, that's fine. Just explain to me why, because I want to know. So Someone says the USB will be bugged.
Yeah, they probably would put a virus in it, so it completely screws up all the computer systems, and Buckingham Palace or plants a bug or something like that. Has the fan of Meghan answered?
No, someone's calling her Rosemary's Baby. They think she's a bot, and someone thinks it's Meghan.
Anyways, I know you only had an hour, sweetie, so we're gonna have to say goodbye to people, but we have to do this again. This has really been fun, you know. Let's see
Yeah,
let's see if we can do it with Kinsey Schofield, the three of us, and P. Dinah. That'd be fun to arrange the four of us, you know.
we're
Um,
definitely,
Hopefully we can do it sometime next week. We'll see, because Kinsey's very busy, and the same for P. Dinah. She's very busy.
yes.
But I just want to address something. People are saying that I'm an arrogant person because I don't do lives with P. Dinah. She's very busy right now. You know, she has a lot of stuff to do. I have asked, and we will do another one, but she has to do lives on her channel and for her members as well. And you know, believe it or not, we all work. This is, at least for me, this is not my full-time job at all. I have a farm, I have a school to help to raise funds for, you know, so it's not my full-time job at all. But
And I have
and
a
so
full-time job too.
yeah. So, but yeah, I want to thank you so very much for joining us, for giving us your time, and we should all arrange something with Kinsey and P. Dinah. It should be really, really fun.
Yeah, and just to put that on, Padina and I are going to do a live after the coronation, you guys. She's busy. So we've all done a live together. We'll probably do one again, maybe with Padina, maybe with Kenzie. Kenzie might be on my channel this week. And people are busy. So we all have to, look at people's schedules. So it's not like someone's
Yeah.
sharing it.
So it's not that I don't want to have anything to do with them or anything like that. It's just that, like, everybody has their own um, stuff, so it's a little bit more difficult to get all ourselves together. So
Right.
I want to thank you, Royal Daily Team, for joining us. Thanks for your input, and let's try and do another one next week. We should do it like a royal catch up.
Yeah, there's a lot to talk about.
Yes, yes, yes. I'm pretty sure a lot's gonna be coming pretty soon. And I wonder if Meghan is gonna go to the Met Gala. That's been very, because that actually, what's her name? What's the name of the lady? Anna Wintour said that her dream guests were Meghan Markle and the Duchess of Cambridge. At the time, she was the Duchess of Cambridge together.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. I
Oh,
have the clip where Anna's asked, "Who are your dream guests?" And she said, "The Duchess of Cambridge with the Duchess of Sussex together." So I don't think she would want Meghan alone, but you never know.
yeah, I heard that she doesn't want her or the Kardashians to come anymore. So who knows? They change their mind all the time. They're in, they're out. They're in, they're out. Thank you, Thor Dog, for subscribing to me. I appreciate that.
Well,
So,
thank you so much for joining, and I'll talk to you. I'll talk to you later on, and I'll talk to you next week. Hopefully, we can get a live sorted out before
yeah,
the coronation.
that's for sure. Thanks, everybody.
Thank
Bye.
you. Have a good day, guys.
Bye.